Behind the Santa Cruz boardwalk, the neighborhood of Beach Flats might as well be worlds away. Here, activists help migrating Latino families get health education and health care. In Los Angeles, this health fair does the same for thousands. At UC Berkeley, this policy center does the same for millions. All of them are inspired by one person, UC Santa Cruz professor and researcher Pat Zavella. She is transforming our understanding of Latinos, who themselves are transforming the Americas. It began in college. Pat took a course about death and dying in the Chicano community, and not just from a textbook.
We had to go do field research, and so we had to go to funerals and wakes and go out into the community and talk to people, and I loved it.
But it was the 70s, and anthropology was changing in another way. The tradition had been to study cultures like Latinos almost in a vacuum.
But there was not enough attention to structural forces, racism, for example, immigration policies, poverty. And those forces also shape how people make decisions about their lives.
After studying at Berkeley and Stanford, Professor Zavella joined UC Santa Cruz. But instead of studying some exotic faraway culture, she chose a poorly understood one in our backyard. Her book about cannery workers in Santa Clara Valley was acclaimed as landmark research, and more.
And as I would give talks, people sometimes would break into tears. People would share with me, you know, heartbreaking experiences that no one should have to go through, and I tried to write about that. As I tried to understand my heritage through oral histories and storytelling, I found a wall of
In subsequent research, Pat also used personal histories, including her own, not to replace theory, but to inform it. And her insights flowed from classroom to community. Veronica Lopez Duran was a master's student under Pat, and now helps families in Beach Flats.
Walking out of Pat's class, and there is that sense of, I can do something, and not only I can do something, but maybe I should do something.
So Veronica helps residents here get health care, police protection, and tutors who just happen to be Pat Zavella's current students.
Part of what that has allowed me to see is the way in which, as somebody who has a higher education, can help bring those voices from the community to other arenas.
I think we have to clone Pat. We need thousands of Pat Zavellas to reach.
Dr. Xochitl Castañeda is at the policy end of the spectrum. She directs the Health Initiative of the Americas, a U.S.-Mexican partnership to improve policies and health care for Mexican immigrants. When she and Pat were trying to get Mexico to participate, she recalls Pat standing up in the Mexican president's office and
she was brilliant in her explanations. She was outstanding, compelling, human, bringing her own story, the story of her ancestors, to the story of many of her students who have built the state of California. She's not very tall, but her voice was in every wall.
And they applauded.
Of course, everybody stand up and clap. Yeah.
It worked. Today, Binational Health Week is held annually in 40 states and 5 nations, reaching nearly 500,000 Latinos. So Pat Zavella studies Latinos, yes, but in doing so, she enlightens us all, showing how forces like gender, migration, health, and economics can shape us. And she envisions a society that responds with dignity. It is a goal she shares with one of the incredible women she studied, her mother.
She was incredibly open to diversity and accepting of other people, and she taught us to be generous in spirit, and I think that's beautiful.